So week 1 is in the books, and I have an idea that I want to do every week regarding the games. I want to do a top 5 best loser trash. Simple little thing. If top 5 teams every week, it's going to be based off of a little bit of last year, how the season ended to start, and then as the weeks go, teams that play good can make it on the list. Teams play bad, they can drop off, but it's just my top 5 teams of the week. I'm going to do best loser, which just means a team that lost but still had a really good showing, and I feel like can be a contender where they're at, or they just had a good showing. So you could be a team like the Jaguars, played tough against a tough opponent, and you can make that list. And then trash, if you're an embarrassment, if you had an embarrassment of a game, you go on the trash list, and then we're going to end it with player of the week. So today, we're going to start off with our top 5. My number 5 team, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, that might be a surprise to a lot of people, but the reason why I'm going with the Cardinals is because that defense. First, when a defensive player has 5 sacks in a game, you can't overlook that. I feel like that's good. That should be talked about forever because that's really impressive for a team to do. And then Kyler Murray and that offense just looked really good. I didn't feel like they were stopping them much, and they had a really good showing. I feel like if they can keep that up, they play in a tough division, and so I think if they can play their division opponents tough, I think they can definitely be a top 5, top 10 team in the league. Number 4, we have the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, what's there to say? You had Russell Wilson, who, again, beginning of the season, Seahawks always seem to be good. He had 4 touchdowns and, had a couple flawless passes to Tyler Lockett. That Seahawks D held Jonathan Taylor in check, who I think is one of the top 5, 6 running backs in football. So, I mean, they had a nearly perfect game, so I think they deserve the number 4 spot. Number 3 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, they're the reigning champs, so they're going to be on this list, I feel like, even if they did lose. However, they're at 3 because their defense didn't look the best. I mean, the Cowboys brought their A game, but they didn't look the best. They had a few bad turnovers. Brady had a couple interceptions, yet, I mean, one of them was a Hail Mary at the end, and one of them was because his running back couldn't catch. But, I mean, Brady looked good. I feel like their defense is going to be good. They brought all 22 people. They had a full off season, so I feel like they're going to be a top team all year. Number 2, you have the Chiefs. Yes, my bias is coming in, but it didn't come in all the way because I really wanted to put them at number 1, but we have to be honest with ourselves. They have the best offense in football. I don't think there's really a way to stop it. I feel like they can be down 28 points going into the second half, and they're still going to somehow find a way to win. Defense it got better in the second half, I will say, giving up only 7 points. And then, I mean, like I said, offense, it's hard to deny that offense and how good they are. My number 1 team, I have the Rams. I mean, that was a near flawless game that the Rams had. Their offense, I feel like Sean McVay is going to have fun all year with Matthew Stafford. Like, there's no question about that. Matthew Stafford just looked like he was enjoying himself, so I'm going to enjoy that. I mean, their defense is obviously one of the best. David Montgomery did have himself a pretty good game, but I mean, they held their opponent in check, gave up only 14 points. So I feel like right now they're the best all-around team. But I mean, if Chiefs defense gets better, I mean, they could be up there. Now, for the best loser of Week 1, I have the Browns. Now, some people even have them in their top 5 even after losing. I just, when you have a double-digit lead, and I know they played the Chiefs, you have to figure out a way to win, but they played tough. They had a 12-point lead at one point. It was like 22-10, and that was going into halftime, and then the Chiefs just decided to go off. But, I mean, there was a couple bad turnovers, one of them by the punter. Baker did have that turnover at the end of the game when he absolutely had to pass the ball, so I'd like to see Baker be able to drive the ball down the field before, we consider them top. But, I mean, they played tough. Their defense, the only thing their defense did was stop the run, so their front is going to be good at stopping the run, but I think that, a lot of teams are going to be able to pass on them. So, I mean, the Browns are definitely the best loser of the week. Trash, that was easy. The Packers. I mean, that was embarrassing, and it's still fun to talk about. That was awful. I mean, what's there to say? Got beat all over the place. Aaron Rodgers had 2 interceptions, had 5 all of last year. Jameis, I mean, he wasn't the best quarterback of the week, but even Jameis had fun with that, and they brought back a lot of their pieces. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers got what he wanted. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks, but come on, he's got to do something with that. And then my player of the week was Patrick Mahomes. And yes, my bias came into this one, but down 12 I think going into the fourth quarter, I mean, I don't remember quite what the score was going into the fourth quarter, but they trailed in the fourth quarter, and then they just took over. I mean, 307, 330 something yards, I believe it was, three or four. I think it was three touchdowns, and I mean, an honorable mention to Tyreek Hill. I think that was the quietest 197-yard game I think anybody's ever talked about. No one talked about that. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes is my player of the week. Just being able to rally his team, get him back to the, get it back in the game. I know he has like the best. I think I saw the best record when down by double digits in NFL history. So, I mean, at this point, if you're a Chiefs fan, there's no reason to ever be upset when you're down. And if you do lose a game, you just got to see how you lost it because Mahomes is just you. When you have Mahomes, that's the only answer. Mahomes, and that was Week 1's top 5 best loser and trash.